X-Max is my favourite radio-controlled basher. So when they came out with a Mini-Max, I was pretty excited. And it turned out to be pretty good, just not epic like the X-Max. It wasn't really that fast. So I made it faster, 6S faster, and they didn't like it. Everything started breaking.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Oh! Kev!
Oh.
The motor's out!
So here I've got a whole load of upgrades, and with some of these hopefully it is going to be epic, just like the bigger X-Max. By the way, you can win a brand new Traxxas Mini-Max along with these two other Maxes. So I've got a competition going on at the moment, but one of you viewers is going to win all of this lot. So the winner gets the Mini-Max, the Max and the X-Max, all brand spanking new. Link down below in the description box, or you can scan the QR code up here somewhere. First off, the shock got destroyed, so I've got some better Traxxas ones. I snapped a couple of drive shafts, so I've got some GPM metal ones. The differentials themselves, so I've got some full metal GPM ones here. The motor mounts keep breaking, so I've got some metal GPM ones. I've got loads more upgrades here, but the trouble is, if you add too much metal, you can make it a lot heavier, and then if you make it heavier, you start breaking other parts, so you've got to try and find a good compromise. So we're going to start off with upgrading the parts that I know are weak, then we're going to take it out for a rip and give it maximum durability testing, and then if we need more upgrades, we got them. So enough waffle, let's get this thing stripped down, get some upgrades on there, and then take it out and give it hell, and hopefully get this car to be as good as the mighty X-Max. At the moment, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I'm just taking screws out and hopefully it's going to come apart. Oh look, that motor mount is broken again, definite weak spot. So here we've got the gear system. It's all plastic and it does look quite fragile. But that said, I can't see any issues with it. But I'm still going to fit the GPM because I've seen a few people have problems with the stock setup. Alright, how do we get that differential out? GPM time! So inside the stock differentials, they've got some planetary gears. So GPM do make some upgraded ones, but here we've got a whole complete unit. It's all made from metal, 70-75 aluminium, steel ring gear and pinion. Oh man, let's check out the difference in quality. Here we got the GPM, here we got the stock Traxxas. And this one here, the stock Traxxas one, is all made of pot metal, monkey metal. On the GPM, it's all steel. Then we get a bit of grease in there. Man, this stuff stinks of fish. Is that what's called marine grease? Is it made of fish? Hope not. If you do stuff up with the Ugga Dugger, always make sure to do it up most of the way, and then the last little bit, do it up by hand, because otherwise you're going to strip off all these little threads. Next up, we get these crappy drive shafts out, and in with the GPMs. Man, look at the quality of that. And all these parts are fitting on perfectly. So this looks like a little bit of a different setup. So before, we just had spur gear, and then drive shaft went over the top of that. But now, it comes with this. The GPM website isn't really showing how it's supposed to go together, but it does say there's no diff oil in there. So that means I've got to take it all apart again. Boom! There we go, opened it up again. You can see in here now how chunky it all is. Hold on, let me put it like, look at that chunkiness. Not really sure what diff fluid to put in it, so I'm just going to bung that in there. Next up, I think this has to come out. And I reckon this is going to go on there instead now. And this should hopefully go in there. Yes. But we've got to put diff fluid in there first. I'm going to put in the thickest stuff that I've got. So while we're waiting for that to sink in, we've got some other upgrades here. This looks handy, ESC mount, because I upgraded the ESC before. There's not really anywhere to stick it down to because it's honeycomb stuff. The GPM, we've got an electronics plate. Not really sure. Where's many go? I've got a parts department Mini-Max here, and it looks like you've got some spacers. Hopefully we can put those onto there. So hopefully on this one, not really lining up. You must be able to get different spacers in the packet with the car. There's none. So, So just looking online again, it does show a picture of it fitted. They're using a Max 10, so that's going to fit on there perfectly. But it doesn't show how those spacers go. But it does say something about cutting guardrail. So I had it that way round. On there, it looks like it's supposed to go that way round. And I think the one about this piece here. Yeah, look. Aha! Now, hopefully. Yes, look, we're lining up. And on that one, now we've got somewhere nice and flat to stick the ESC to. Now the diff fluid has sunken in there, we can get the lid back on. And now that should fit into there. And drive shaft on there. Oh no, just found the split, look. The rear bulkhead's cracked. Man, these are definitely weak compared to the proper X-Max. Let's take it apart again. I've got a quicker way anyway, so... Boom! There we go. New bulkhead fitted. Look at that. Here you can see the old one. Next up, let's get rid of this crappy motor mount and fit the GPM one. So that's the pinion on there. It's quite difficult to actually line it up perfectly because you can't really see until the cover's on and then you can't see. Hold on, this is a whole different design again. Confused now. Hold on, so that must go on there like that. And then that motor mount can't work with that, can it? How does that work? Huh? Alright, I think I've figured it out. So it works a little bit like the Scorch Park motor mount. They've probably stolen the idea. But you adjust a mesh by turning it. Still a bit fiddly, but there's just enough space there. Give it a little rock and get the perfect mesh. Then this cover clamps it on. Then we've got a little slot here. Just test that mesh. Really, you're supposed to put this little bracket thing on. You put the battery strap on there, but we are going to get rid of this battery system, and GPM have got this one here, because with this one you kind of lumbered with Traxxas batteries. With the straps, hopefully you can put anything in it. So this one here, that must go on top of that one, and then this one, I don't know. Like that. We can't get the big Allen key in there, so we've got to use this little baby one. Boom! Blocks the hole, and we've got a battery strap. Next up, we've got to put a diff in the front end. I've also got to fix the bulkhead, and it's the same as the rear, so quickest way that I know. Boom! There we go, front end all fitted. Next up, we've got this little chassis skid plate. A couple of us have broken these in half. Boom! Hopefully that is going to make the whole front end a lot stronger now. Next up, shocks. Feels like oil's already in there, even though it does come with some spare oil. Oh man, that's a bit more substantial. Do you know what? I don't know if there's any oil in there actually. Look how easy it bottoms out. Let's get him off again. What do you reckon? Anything in there? Oh man, it's tight on there. Jesus. That is on there. Man, that's going to scratch the shaft up if I do it like that. Oh. Bone dry. I have no idea how this system's supposed to work. It's got this with a hole in it. Is that supposed to just go like that? Just getting those bubbles out of there. Oh, mess. Oh, it's all going everywhere. Oh, it's all dribbling. Now for the rest of them. Boom! There we go, all the shock hole in there. It still feels pretty floppy. That's better than it was, but that's what they recommend. That's what it gets. So we've got the 6S LiPo. Yes, we can hold it in properly this time. See if it all works. 6S, baby! 6S! So here we've got the steering from the perfect pass servo and power. Whoa! It's sounding a bit rough at the minute. Hopefully it'll bed in. Oh, ho, ho. What?
Oh my God!
So here's all my leftover upgrades. I'm not going to put them on just yet. We're going to save them till the end of the video, or later on in the video. If it breaks, we'll put the spares on. Like I said before, we don't want to make it too heavy. The heavier you make it, the more load you put on other parts, the more stuff you might end up breaking. So I'll try and always put on the bare minimum when it comes to adding weight.